Hi, my name is Joanne Cornell and I'm from Rose's Creations, and I did something today. Uh, I wanted to do a two-part epoxy and put them in silicone molds in order to be able to make some cremation pieces for some people. I had the idea a long time ago and I tried to figure out how to do it, and I got two different ways of being able to do them now. So I'm going to be doing one which is this video is not about, but one I'm going to be taking and having a glass, and then I'm going to take the cremation ashes and put it in the middle, and then I'm going to put another piece of glass on the top and fuse them together. When I heat it up, it's going to make a piece of glass that I can make a jewelry. So I can make it a pendant, I can make a small one so it'll be a ring, I can put it on a bracelet, and then a smaller one so you can have a gemstone and you can put it in a ring in order to do that. So those will be three different things that I'm going to be working on. And also you can take the glass and then maybe I can make a sun catcher or something out of it. Have figured out different things yet. I still have to make my foundry, which is going to be soon, because I got all the materials for that now, and I think I have the design all figured out. I looked online to try to figure out how to do something like that, and it's not, the foundries that they're making are higher tech than what I'm doing. I'm trying to do this the cheapest way possible because I really don't have a steady income. I'm limited on my money that I can spend on stuff. Okay, let's get on to this. What I did is put cremated ashes inside of some of my products because I wanted to see what it would look like, and I also just wanted to have things that my pet. I did a little bit more than I wanted to do because I made more epoxy than I thought I was going. I made more epoxy than I needed because I wanted to make sure that I definitely had enough to make my main thing, which was a dice holder. It's a D20 shaped dice holder. I play Magic the Gathering, for those who don't know. My boyfriend and I own a card shop on Mineral Spring Avenue in North Providence, Rhode Island. It's 1800 Mineral Spring Avenue. It's called The Sports Den. 401-383-9909 is the phone number, and I will be having these on the shelf to sell. I will show pictures, and then when I am opening these molds and taking these out of the molds, I'm going to do another video so that way you can see the finished product. What I'm going to try to do is I thought of an idea of making a little square pendant. That's going to have, it's going to be a little square pendant, sort of like that shade size. I'm trying not to tilt it up as much as possible. It's going to be this size, and I can make them smaller, so I will be making them smaller too, but it's going to have the sun in the corner, and it'll have the sky, and then it'll have cremation on the bottom. So cremation is going to be the sand, because when you take the cremation ashes and you put it into the two-part epoxy with no color, it looks like sand. So it's a great way in order to be able to make it, part of the scenery. So I tried to do it in this mold, of course, but it didn't work, because what I tried to do is pour it all at one time, and of course it's liquid, and it flooded in. I was hoping that because I had did it on towards the end, that the epoxy was going to be hard enough where it wasn't going to flow, but it still did anyways. So that didn't work, so now it's just a green blob right now kind of thing, because I just mixed it all up inside of each other. So then what I decided is I was going to do it in three different parts. I'm going to make the sun. So the sun is this. So this is going to come out a round rod, and then I'm going to cut slices and then be able to put the slice in there, and then that's going to be the sun. I'm also going to do the same thing with the moon. And then what I'm going to do is this part here, which is a square tube type thing, and I put the ashes in there with the epoxy. So I put the ashes in there with the epoxy. Now it's going to look like sand. So then what I'm going to do is take this And I'm going to put this down on the bottom, so it'll be the beach sand. And then I'm going to put the little round piece in the corner. I'm going to put the little round piece in one corner, round piece in one corner, sand on the other. And then I'm going to pour the blue in there. When I pour the blue in there, it'll end up looking like the sky. So then it'll be a sun, sky, and beach, which will be the ashes. I'm liking that idea. I think it's going to be cool. I'll definitely be making myself one, so that's what I'm doing that for. I have the sun in the sky, the sun and the thing, and then wait till it dries, and then I'll make the rest of it. I did a spear. I ran out of epoxy with the spear, though. So I'm kind of thinking that's okay, because normally I would have put it on a pedestal, but this one I won't have to put it on a pedestal because it's only 3/4, so now it's going to be flat on this side. So when I flip it upside down, it's just going to sit on the counter, and I don't need a pedestal. I'm okay with that. Sorry, my head's cut off a little bit, but I'm trying to show you what the things are instead. And then what I did is a little gemstone, because that was what is in there. I can't kind of like, so you'll be able to see it in the next video. It's kind of cool looking. It's got all sorts of different little sides to it. It was just because I had extra epoxy and I wanted to see what the molds are going to look like in the finish. And then I did pendulums. So the pendulums are all, and they also have a little hole in there, so I'll be able to end up putting a O-ring in there and then be able to put a bail on it. I did a pyramid, which has got 4 sides on this one, and this one has 3 sides on that one. I took the epoxy and put it in there, one color, and then what I did is took some of the dye and put it in there, and then I just put a stick in there and swirled it around, because I want to see what the colors are going to look like if I did something like that, sort of like a tie-dye type thing. Let's see what happens. All these have ashes in them from my pet Wilbur. A little background on that is I wanted to put it into, I wanted to put Wilbur in my die holder. And the reason I wanted to do that is because he used to come to the store, and when I was playing Magic, I wasn't going to be, I didn't want to leave him here 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours when I was working. And he enjoyed going for rides, so I took him to the store with me, and he sat downstairs in the basement. And when we played cards, he just sat there and did pretty much nothing. He would come over and he'd get petted by everybody, and then he'd go lay back down, and that was the end of that. So he enjoyed doing that, so he was part of the store environment down in the basement when I was playing cards, to memorialize him. And to be able to make this at the same time, to me, is kind of cool, because he is partly at the store right now. A box of his ashes are up on my fridge in the basement, so he can be there, because I thought that was where one of the places he was happy, being able to have different people around him and enjoy himself a little bit. So things that I learned. Let's do that. Things that I learned. 2-pot mold. I hope I didn't say this already, because I already did this video more than once and I keep messing it up, and now I'm doing it again. Alright, so 2-pot mold. Make sure you pour it, and then make sure you pour the 2-pot epoxy, 2-pot molds first before you do the other ones, because you need to pour it in there when it's first mixed, because this way, if bubbles are gonna come, it'll end up settling, and once it settles, you'll end up having to pour a little bit more on the top, and you need to be able to do it right away, and you need to be able to do it when the epoxy is still really liquidy, and loose. So do that first, let it settle, pour some more in there, and then you're good. Be careful that you have the mold so that it's all the way tight. When you pour the first part in the mold, then you put the top part on, attach the top part on, then you pour the rest of it on in there. That's how that works. Wear gloves. I don't like wearing gloves. I had to do it a lot when I was working as an EMT and, you know, in a medical profession. You kind of wear gloves all the time. So I kind of try not to. But wear them, because if you don't, your hands, my hands are really sticky right now, even though I washed them all and did thing. I bought some, oh my